How's it going, everybody? I'm Cherokee Ronnie. Welcome back to the channel, and if you haven't hit the subscribe button, go ahead and do that, and make sure you give this video a like. Today we're going to be talking about the 5 common problems with the Jeep 4.0. Now I know this might sound like a sin to some people and say, you know, the 4.0s don't have any problems. Well, today I'm going to be talking about the common problems with the 4.0. Not necessarily major problems like other Jeeps have, where it's going to keep you from, you know, driving your Jeep and all that good stuff. But these are most common problems with the 4.0 that you'll find with pretty much any year. Number 1 is the manifold. They always have a crack in them. They always leak. Every Jeep that I've had 9 or 10 of them already. It was never the gasket, it was the crack. A lot of people say, you know, drill the holes in the crack, you know, each side of the crack, weld it up and you're good. I never could get it to, you know, stop leaking. It always cracks somewhere else. A lot of people said it was the motor mounts, the way the exhaust was run. So I had a muffler shop do the exhaust and I put solid motor mounts in it and it still cracked. So what I did was I got on eBay, and you can go to your local parts store and get these too. You can get manifolds with the flex pipes in between. This is the only way that I could keep my manifolds from cracking, because I've even bought solid, you know, stock manifolds for my 4.0s and they still cracked after about 10,000 miles. So if you have a manifold that is leaking, I recommend getting the ones with the flex pipe in them because they work really well and they don't crack like the other ones do. The 4.0 likes to run a little hot. They like to give off a lot of heat, because the 4.0 was never designed to be in a Cherokee. So with all that heat in that little box, it always makes the crank position sensor go bad. I don't know how many Jeeps that I've got cheap because they couldn't get it to start and they just didn't want to tackle the job, because when you go to tackle the crank position sensor, it is a pain. A lot of people try to do it from the top. They drop the bolts down in there and it gets stuck in the bottom of the bell housing. It's not an easy job, so you can get Jeeps actually kind of cheap if you know the right people and you know the right lazy people, and you can put a crank position sensor in it and it should run for a while until that one goes bad. But it's the most common problem with, you know, the 4.0s. That's why you always buy a good one. Don't buy a cheap one off eBay or Advanced Auto, you know, because there's a lot of heat going down through there. Another common problem with the Jeep 4.0 is the oil adapter leaking. Every one that I've ever had leaked. Now, there's different ways. You can get on Google and look how to do the delete or how to fix it or whatever. I have a video somewhere on how to fix it. It's super easy. You just got to take your time and all that good jazz. You can even delete it if you wanted to. It's super easy to do that also. But they end up leaking. A lot of people think it's the valve pan cover. It always leaks a little bit in the driveway. I've never seen a major one leak where it's just shooting out everywhere, but mine would leak, and I couldn't find the leak until I actually got under the vehicle and cleaned some stuff off, and I finally seen what was leaking. But it's not too bad of a job. You can do it. So that is another common problem with these 4.0s. Another thing that I see with these 4.0s are rear main seal leak. It seems like they always leak. Every one that I've had leaked. When we rebuilt the one that I blew up in the river, we went ahead and put a rear main seal in it and it finally stopped leaking. But then after 5 months, I sold the Jeep. It never leaked after that 5 months. I don't know if it's leaking now. The guy's still driving it. But it's a common problem, you know, just like a Chevy 350, the rear main seal leaks in them. If you ever been on Facebook, you've seen, you know, people share things on there like, oh, you know, a Jeep was here because there's oil spots. You know, Jeeps do leak a little oil, and the rear main seal is the cause of one of them. Another common problem with the 4.0s, and it scares a lot of people, and I get tons of questions on it. I've seen people sell them because of this reason, because they're scared of them. But for God's sakes, mine had 368,000 miles on it, and it wasn't even getting oil to the head. It sounded like a diesel, and I drove that thing many miles, and it never blew up. But another common problem with these 4.0s, they are super noisy, okay? They'll make rattling noise, they'll clunk, they'll chunk. You know, some of mine's like a diesel, some of mine was making a clunk. The only one that I've seen, I don't call it a common problem, but it does happen with the 4.0s, is the piston skirts. I've seen them fly apart. They start making noises and then they just fly apart. But I'm not seeing a whole lot do that. But my 5-speed, it clunked. My automatic, it clunked. They rattled, they jingled, they made all kinds of noise. But I've seen people buy these 4.0s, the ones that don't make noise, and that's the ones that are scary. That's the ones that blow up out of nowhere and lock up. I've seen it happen, and we sit back and laugh about it because we get the ones that are super noisy, and we're kind of skittish of them. But we go buy one with 150,000 on it that sounds super nice and it's quiet and it blows up. But that is 5 common problems with the Jeep 4.0. Like I said, it's nothing major. It's stuff you can do at your house in your backyard. I've already proved that on this channel. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Go back on my channel and watch the videos. It helps out a lot and it helps continue the content that you guys want to see. Without your guys' views and your subscription, this channel is nothing. So I appreciate each and every one of you guys that watch these videos. And I hope you have an awesome day. I'm Cherokee Ronnie. Stay dirty, my friends.